Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fella channel. Pleased to see you. This is the video for this week's weekly reads. I may have forgotten to do one last week, I'm not entirely sure, but we're up to about, I think, number 18 or 19, so I thought we'd get on with that. First of all, before we get going, a big thanks to James, who sent a one-off PayPal donation to support the channel. Much appreciated, James. Thanks very much. And if anyone else wanted to make a one-off payment through PayPal to support the channel, then there's a link down below in the video description. But thanks very much to James for that. Right, let's get on with the books. In the past week, I've been reading probably about 3 or 4 books, but the two main ones that I said last time I was going to read, I think, were this one, called Hitler's Father, Hidden Letters: Why the Son Became a Dictator, written by Roman Sandgruber. And basically what's happened is someone had discovered a load of letters in a loft, and they'd been sat there for years and years and years, and they'd kind of been ignored and no one had seen the significance of them. But they were letters written by or for Adolf Hitler's dad, Alois. Rather odd little man. He was actually Adolf Hitler's stepfather, and they kind of didn't really get on that well. Hitler was more of a mummy's boy, and I actually think some of Alois's thoughts or how he went about life, Hitler probably did pick up. So, because he wasn't the nicest of men, and he was men, and he was a bit of an anti-Semite. So you can see where Adolf probably got some of his problems. But the book also, as well as those letters, it goes through various parts of Hitler's life to try and explain how he turned out the way he did. And I actually think when he went to art university to do art, he was declined a couple of times. He was actually born in Austria but wanted to move to Germany, and he spent a year sort of homeless, where he spent kind of the year in like a homeless person's shelter, and kind of didn't get on with most of the people that he found in there. So I'm kind of thinking, there's probably 2 or 3 things that sparked something in his mind or in his life that happened that turned him into the person he was. And I think eventually it was the death of his mother that finally made him flip a bit, I think. But the book looks at the various letters from Alois, and it's quite interesting, and it's a really good book to show you the effect a father can have on a son or a stepson, and it's a really good read. So it's certainly one I would recommend reading. It's really good. So if you're into Adolf Hitler's history and that sort of thing, this one's called Hitler's Father, Hidden Letters, written by Roman Sandgruber, published by Frontline Books and priced at £25. Quite a good read, and it's good to have a book based on sort of artifacts and primary sources to look at. So that's that one. And the second really interesting one I've had this week is called Save the Last Bullet, Memoir of a Boy Soldier in Hitler's Army. Written by Wilhelm Langbeen, with Heidi Langbein Allen. So actually Wilhelm Langbein, or Willie for short as he was called, he's the child the story's about, and Heidi's his daughter. So she's mainly written the book based on what he's told her and his letters and thoughts and his story. It's published by Pen and Sword Books, priced at £20, and a really good read. I'll kind of give you a quick short synopsis. I don't want to give the whole story away, but Willie was taken by as a child by the government and kind of put into a forced education. They wanted him to kind of have like a military training and indoctrinate him. And so obviously when Germany eventually went to war, then they would have this, they would do this with quite a few children, that sort of thing, and especially the Hitler Youth. They would indoctrinate all these young children in the cause of Nazism and get them to fight and want to fight for country and want to fight for Germany. And then hopefully, they'd turn into good soldiers and this would help Germany win the war. And basically he was one of these guys. He was at 14 thrown into the battle at Stalingrad. By some miracle he managed to survive. He was then kind of had to spend a year in forced labour, which was hard labour, and kind of, where there wasn't much future for him. But he met a British soldier, and they had a relationship, and it turned out that, by meeting this British soldier and being told what the truth and what things were actually like and what had been happening in the world, this was able to turn Willie back to and being, let's say, normal. And Willie would eventually go on to do campaigning for peace. So it's a really good book, a really riveting read. I know it might sound like I've given you the whole story, but there's lots of stuff in here that is quite really important to Wilhelm's life and story, and it's certainly well worth a read. So I'd recommend this one, Save the Last Bullet, published by Pen and Sword Books, priced at £20. The author is Wilhelm Langbein and Heidi Langbein Allen. So there we go. Right, what am I planning to read? This one here, I've kind of kept this one for this weekend to start. This one's called Laugh or Cry. Life in World War I, written by Peter Hart and Gary Bain. The British soldier on the Western Front, 1914 to 1918. Hopefully it's full of stories, life in the trenches of World War I. So I'm hoping it's mainly about military humour and that sort of thing. So it should be a good read. And then the other book I'm going to read is on my shelf. Just get it off. I'm just trying to avoid knocking the other book off. And the other book I'm going to try and start reading is Transforming Hitler's Germany. Or it actually says on the board, the girls reading Knickers to Stalin. This is written by Tim Heath and Anne-Marie Vickers. Published by Pen and Sword and priced at £25. Now I've got about 5 or 6 books from Tim Heath, and he's always a good read. So he's kind of one of these writers that gets to the bottom of the story and talks to the people who actually do the work or serve in the armies and that sort of thing. So I'm really looking forward to that book. Right, other than that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. And other than that, please take care. I hope everyone's safe. Have a good weekend. Everyone's happy and healthy, and I shall see you very soon for some more videos. So thank you very much, and goodbye.